Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Nathan, good to see you. Welcome to Popternative.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Nice to see you, Peter.
This is one of my favorite shows on TV. I've talked to a lot of your castmates about this. This is my favorite. It's one of my favorite shows, and episodes are rolling out on MGM Plus. Your character specifically is just kind of thrown in a situation and just had to adapt, man. Like there's no time to think about a lot of things. Is that fun playing a character like that, or like does it even kind of seem overwhelming sometimes looking at the scripts? Like he's just thrown in.
Oh my gosh, it's a bit of both. Honestly, it's a bit of both. It's super fun, but at the same time, like end of the day, I'm like, oh my god, like I'm exhausted. Like you know, even for example, coming like screaming off the bus and then have to go straight into like having a seizure immediately after, like that hurts you. It hurts you. That's like it hurts your body. But it's fun though. It's like I feel like as an actor, it's fun to just find something that you can just like jump right into, bite your teeth into, and like just see where the journey takes you. So.
Tons of elements that make this show special, in my opinion. For me, being like kind of a big horror movie fan and everything, this is one of the scariest like shows I've ever seen in the best way possible. Season 2 is scarier than season 1, in my opinion, which I feel like is a hard thing to do. What's that like, kind of being part of kind of the horror community, thriller community, knowing that there's a big appetite for a lot of that content right now, Nathan?
I feel like this is a show that's like I find it's like very pure horror, right? Like you don't really get the jump scares, and you really get that suspense and that terror. Like I'll bring you back to season 1. One of my favorite moments. I'm a big fan of the show too. Was when you had Judy on the stairs because those two people were making out in the bathroom, and then they leave. You see Judy, and like, oh shoot, what's going to happen? And then all of a sudden they cut, and you see that monster with blood dripping on their mouth, and I was like, yo, what is going on, right? And I love Judy. I was like, oh shoot, it sends chills down you. This like the pureness of it, right? I
think the transition of the last episode of season 1 and then the first episode of season 2, I feel like as an audience member, you're exhausted because I remember watching the end, how season 1 ended, like the bus rolls up. I'm like, oh my God. Like I have so many questions.
Yeah, here we go. Does not stop.
It does not. It does not stop. I'm kind of talking a little bit more about your character, Elgin. Like, is it one of those things too where, does it feel a little bit like kind of the new kid at school a little bit, kind of joining? I mean, you're not the only one. There's a lot of new characters, right? But I was just curious, what was it like, kind of officially joining, kind of the family, so to speak? That's what they're calling it online. Like, what was that like?
Hey, that's what we call it too. That's what we call it on set. It's a great experience, Like it really does feel like a family. Like everyone there's so supportive, man. It really does. It feels like you're all trapped together in the same place, same set, but people are all like they're very supportive. We're all each other's like number one fans, and we're all looking for each other's success too. Like someone's doing good in the scene, we want to make sure that we meet those expectations, right? And Harold as like the leader of the set, the star of the show, like. Literally, he's a genius. Like if you ever have the opportunity to watch him work, he is a genius. And Catalina, like, oh my gosh, is Scott as well, and I can go on. Like I'm just literal fans of everybody on there, and I get the sense sometimes they're also fans of me, and it's a great place to work, right? Yeah,
it's an ensemble cast, and one of my favorite things about this show, and Lost also did an amazing job with this as well, is it's an ensemble cast, right? There's a lot of characters. But I feel like the screen time is so valuable and important every time we see everyone. Like every time we see your character, like, and there's an amazing job of there's a lot of people on the show, but I feel like every time we see a character, we like learn about this character and they have an arc and we grow. Like the screen time, it's like very awesome, like methodical screen time. Do you notice that when you're like reading the script and then going and filming that? Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I do. And I get the feeling too, like even when you're like reading it through it, it's like, oh shoot, I said this. Now what does that mean? So you have to go in deeper because like everything that your character is saying and everything that happens, like there's a reason to it. And this is why I love John. Like John's writing, like nothing he writes is just fluff. Everything is usually to an end, right? There's always something to it, which is beautiful.
And episodes are rolling out season 2 on MGM Plus. Every episode has like not 1, not 2, but like 5 big things that happen. You know what I mean? It's not
Yes.
like it's just an eventful show. Do you know what I mean by that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, and it's gonna keep coming. It's gonna keep happening. Oh my gosh. I don't even feel like this season really slows down. Like maybe you can catch your breath a little bit, but like it's gonna be a ride. It is, and I feel like people have said this before. Like, but it's a journey. This one, there's a lot that's gonna keep pushing. So I'm excited for you know what you feel about it later, right? So,
Yeah, absolutely. And very quickly before we wrap up, last question. When you get a chance to watch, and you could speak to it in general, but maybe just for this season specifically, with your character, kind of like all the new people from the bus coming in and kind of being part of Colony House and the community, everything. When you get a chance to watch season 2 of From on MGM Plus, Nathan, what are you hoping they'll get out of it, takeaway wise?
That's a big question. I feel like they feel people feel more complete with the world now. You know, I feel like they don't feel like it's just so, I guess, linear. You know, release whatever expectations that they have, but also learn things about the town a bit more. That's what, you know, I hope they get out of it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Episodes rolling on MGM Plus, season 2 of From. Nathan, so great chatting with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Nice to chat you too. I love your energy, Rhea. I love your energy.
One of my favorite shows on TV. If we're not excited, what's the whole point of this?
I know.
Thanks.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.